Welcome to South Asia. This is your presenter J. Reddy at at South Asia Maps. At South Asia Maps, your presenter will bring you the fascinating knowledge of South Asian region, south of Karakoram Mountains and north of Kanyakumari. And today's topic of discussion is a very fascinating topic. That is the sack of Surat or the Battle of Surat. A very brief battle, a contest between the Mughals and Marathas in the Gulf of Combe in the Sindh Sagar region, that is the Arabian Ocean, in southern part of Gujarat in Surat, the sack of Surat city. That is the topic of discussions today. If you are following me on other social media channels such as Share Shot, etc., I strongly suggest to my audience, you can go to my main YouTube channel. You can type South Asia Maps J. Reddy. I have posted more than 110 or so meticulously made videos with fascinating maps to look at, made and remade for you for your intellectual pleasure and enjoyment, as this channel is an intellectual Kshatriya's channel that tries to bring the Indo-Indian heritage and culture of South Asian region to our audience in the form of icons, maps and images. So these are all the videos, and there are many playlists you can explore there. This playlist, the variety of playlists covering Punjab, Bengal, South India, Deccan, Bombay, Central Provinces, Islam and conversion-based ideologies like Christianity and so on, Vijayanagara Empire, how to remember the geographic areas of the many parts of the world, especially in South India, and the Mughal history, Maratha history, the rivers, and there are many other fascinating presentations, 110 or so. You can take a look at them. Coming back to the Battle of Surat or sack of Surat, and the subtitle of the presentation. Subtitle of presentation is Maratha Lion, Maratha Singha sacks the Mughalia Surat. Surat was the major entry port of Mughal Empire at that time. Maratha Lion sacks Mughalia Surat. Surat was also Padshahi Begum, Jahanara's Inam purse in Mughal Empire. I will explore and tell all these things in detail. And tremors of this battle of Surat or sack of Surat were felt in Delhi. That is Shahin Shah Sultanate Al-Hindiya Al-Mughalia, Mughal Empire in Shahi Qila, Red Qila in Delhi, that is the Lal Qila. Alampana, that is the title of Aurangzeb. Alampana rattled by the audacity of Bhumia. Bhumi means land, like a small jamindar or a small local leader, Bhumia, from Sahyadri, that is the Western Ghats, Sahyadri mountains, because his capital was in Sahyadri, that is Raigad in Kolaba district, south of Bombay Salsette Islands. Darul Islam's, the biggest re-entry port, major port, sacked for 5 days free. Its governor Inayat Khan fled as soon as he heard Shivaji is coming to sack the city. Sack of Surat caused bitter mortification in Alamgir, Aurangzeb, Bahadur Alamgir's court and Delhi. So at the time, governor of Subhas of Deccan, that is Kandesh bearer Aurangabad, was Shaista Khan, maternal uncle of Aurangzeb. He was relieved and Jai Singh Mirza Raja with assistance from a Pashtun Diler Khan were dispatched to reset the Deccani affairs, Deccani politics and military situation in favor of Jahanpana, Alamgir Bahadur. So, that is today's topic of discussion, sack of Surat in January 1664 by Maratha leader Shivaji. Maratha lion sacks Mughalia Surat, Padshahi Begum Jahanara Inam purse. Tremors are felt in Delhi of Shahinshah-e Sultanate al-Hindiya wal Mughalia. Alampana rattled by the audacity, boldness of Bhumia from Sahyadri. Darul Islam's biggest entry part in Hindustan was sacked for 5 days free without a protector, as the governor Inayat Khan flees Surat. Sack of Surat caused bitter mortification in Aurangzeb Bahadur Alamgir's court in Lal Qila, Shahi Qila in Delhi on the bank of river Yamuna in Indo-Gangetic plains. Mirza Raja Jai Singh and Diler Khan were dispatched to replace the Subadar of Deccan at Aurangabad, that is Shaista Khan, to set the Deccani political affairs right by Jahanpana Alamgir. This is from the wiki, the Battle of Surat. That is the topic of discussion today. And before we venture into the topic, and the Portuguese navigators and priests, plunderers and pirates from Portugal made a discovery of sea trade route via Cape of Good Hope, today's South Africa, to Calicut in 1508, and they became the masters of the ocean. Later, what happened? The trade was so prosperous and the returns were so high, the British and French and Dutch, Danish, and all of them jumped in the trade, and they established various trading posts throughout the coastal areas of Bharat and Spice Island. First comers were Portuguese, and they were the successors. Later, in Battle of Swali 1612, the British defeated the Portuguese galleons, that is their navy, in a small battle near Surat. That is also very interesting. I have talked about that before. Battle of Suwali. Suwali is like a small village now in Surat, that is on the bank of river Tapati, that is south of Narmada river. That is Narmada is the Reva river. Barech or Baruch is on the bank of Narmada, and Surat is on the bank of river Tapati. This is the Kambat region, Bay of Kambe, Suwali. This is the Dungs district on Sahyadri mountains. This is the Navsari or Valsad district. I talked about Battle of Suwali 1612, and this is the sequel to that. The important thing is, when we talk about the battles, we think about the big battles like Battle of Thalikota that was found in Deccan in 1565, where the Bahmani splinter states decisively defeated Vijayanagara Empire. Or Battle of Panipat in 1526, or Battle of Panipat in Third Battle of Panipat. where Ahmad Shah Durrani with Ghazis from North India, Rohilas and Sujauddaulah combined and defeated Marathas. This is not such a big battle like Battle of Swali between the Portuguese and British in 1612. Battle of Surat or sack of Surat in 1664 January is a small battle, but implication was very, very big. The region is the Surat was a entry part, means major port. I am here showing the Surat district here in the Google map, and other important district, the Raigad district. This is the Bombay Island, Salsette Island. This is the Thane region. Raigad or Colaba region is the capital of Chhatrapati Shivaji's, the nascent Maratha kingdom, and Sahyadri mountains called Raigad in Colaba district or Raigad district. And this is the Surat, and this is Aurangabad, the headquarters of the Mughal Subhas in South India. At that time, there are three Subhas of Mughals, that is Khandesh, that is Dhulia and Jalgaon, and Berar, that is Akola, Amravati, Buldana, and Yavatmal, and so on, and Aurangabad region, that is included Ahmadnagar also. This is three Subhas. Later, Alamgir, Aurangzeb conquered Bijapuri Subha and Golconda Subha later. That's a different story. That was their headquarters. Surat city, Antapati, was a major entry port. Entry port means a major port where all the Musalman pilgrims used to go from there to their religious place in Arabia, because Muslims have no concept of their local value of their culture, religion. Islam totally erases this idea in the minds of the converts, Muslim proselytes. Only Arabia is sacred for them. Everything is Darul Harb, to be conquered and destroyed, and their Arabian Islamic imperialism has to be imposed. That's a major port, entry port, enter part. How much important means all the round about 15 Subhas or so Mughals. Let's say Gujarat contributed 10% of income, 10 or 9%, Jadunath Sarkar gives in his book. Among the 10% that Gujarat contributed to the Mughal exchequer, Surat contributed 10% of Gujarat income. Gujarat Subha. 10% of Gujarat Subha income came from Surat, such a prosperous city. At that time, the governor, Subadar of Deccan of Mughal Empire, was Shaista Khan. Shaista Khan is not a normal leader. He is related in blood with the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb's mother, Mumtaz Mahal's brother, is Shaista Khan. Such an important leader was sent to South India, Deccan, by Aurangzeb to govern and bring into control the Bijapuri kingdom of Adil Shahs and Qutub Shahi kingdom of Golconda in Telangana region, and the nascent Hindu kingdom, Kafiri kingdom of Shivaji. And he was disgraced few months back in Pune and barely escaped his death. His son died. He lost his fingers. And Shivaji, after few months, daringly attacked Surat. For 5 days he sacked. At that time, no contemporary rivals of Mughals in India made any offensive war or gave any offense to the Mughal emperors at any time. At most, they waged a defensive war, that is the prominent rich kingdoms of Bijapur, Golconda, before that Ahmadnagar and so on. They waged only defensive war. When the Mughals attacked them, they fought back. But they never gave any offense to the Mughals attacking them. This is the first time a small ruler, Bhumia, what Aurangzeb used to call derogatively about the line of Marathas, Shivaji. Bhumia means trivial, insignificant leader. Daringly attacked. Why he did was, his territory was used to be constantly attacked by Shaista Khan. He has to spend lot of resources, recruiting the soldiers and so on to defend the territory. He took an offense of it and daringly attacked that. But unlike the Muslims, he didn't destroy any life or any property. All were spared. He only wanted the money. That is the uniqueness of the concept of war. Unlike the Muslims, whenever they attack anything, they just dishonor the females, Hindu Kafiri women, take them into slaves or convert them into concubines, capture them, sell them in the slave trades in the Middle East, like in Persia, in Kabul, Kandahar and Bokhara, Samarkand, transport them. Shivaji was not like that. He only attacked to get back the money. That is the difference. So the battle was very small, 5 days, but the significance was tremendous. That is the why I told you this is very, very important battle. In the wiki, it gives the battle belligerents, the people who fought at the parties who fought. You can go. That is the Maratha kingdom, nascent Maratha kingdom and mighty Mughal empire at that time. The commanders are, of course, Chhatrapati Shivaji led the Maratha army called Mughals, the local. There is a place called Mawal Taluk, western part of Pune district. That is Sahyadri region. They called Mughals. They led the Mughals. And the governor of Surat is Inayat Khan. And because the British also had their factory headquarters at Surat. Remember, the British at that time has a headquarters. Surat was very, very important. West coast Surat, east coast was Bandar. Bandar means port in Persian. That is Machilipatnam. On the mouth of the Krishna river, today in Simandhra Pradesh. That is around about few kilometers, maybe 30, 40 or 50 east of Vijayawada, the prominent city at that area. Their east coast, the trading post headquarters was Bandar, west coast was Surat. Only after sacking, the British moved their headquarters from Surat to safe place, an island called Bombay. Bombay at that time has a 5-6 island, Bombay, Mahim and so on. Enclosed by a bigger island called Salsette that was surrounded by river Ullas Creek and those creeks, and it's a very protected place. That is also a reason why its governor, George Axentine, we also put in a feeble resistance against him, against Shivaji. Later they moved because at that time they got a gift from the Portuguese in the marriage of the Portuguese royal family with the English royal family. Different story. So this is the Broch district. This is the Tapti river, Surat, the Gulf of Bombay. And also the district, the Portuguese exclaves. Portuguese, their headquarters mainly in Goa, that is in Gomantak region. And also in Dayu, that is south of Junagadh region, is an island in Amreli area and so on. They also has a exclaves called Dadra Nagar Haveli. These are the Portuguese. And British trading post at Surat, Dungs in Sahyadri region, the Dungs district here. The Islamic conquistadors and nationalists. Excuse me for my allergies. That's the battle between. A brief anecdote for the audience is, in 1657, Shah Jahan felt severely ill and Battle of Mughal War of Succession happened. The wars were fought in Battle of Dharmat and Battle of Samugar. Shah Jahan's sons Murad and Aurangzeb combined, they defeated Shah Jahan and his favored son Dara Shikoh at Battle of Dharmat near Ujjain, Battle of Samugar near Agra on Yamuna river. And Aurangzeb later imprisoned and executed his brother Murad, and he became an emperor. And Battle of Kajwa, Battle of Deoria, Battle of Pratapgarh, the succession battle. Battle of Pratapgarh at the same time in 59, Shivaji killed in encounter the Bijapuri Major General Afzal Khan in Pratapgarh near Mahabaleshwar, not far away from Satara district, Y and Satara, established Maratha kingdom after battle of Pratapgarh. And in 63, Shaista Khan was attacked by Shivaji in the night, and Shaista was disgraced and he escaped barely. And Aurangzeb fell ill in 63. For around about 4-5 months he was in Kashmir, May to August, that is 63. From August and winter starts setting and temperature cools down, so he start coming to South India, sorry, to Delhi, and he reached Delhi round about 18th and August. This happened January 4th. January 4th, for 5 days, Shivaji looted, sacked major entry port of Mughalia dynasty empire, Surat. That means round about 10, and Aurangzeb reached Delhi from Kashmir, Srinagar valley on 18th. That means there is almost like 3 weeks difference. That means there is a courier letter writers, and they will send the fast information from relaying one place to other place, important events, political event, economic to the empire. So that means by the time he reached, he might have 1 or 2 days this that side. He got the letter from Gujarat that Shivaji sacked the Surat. That was extremely mortifying for Mughal emperor, that nobody dared to touch the Mughal territory at that time or before. Aurangzeb was back on January 18th, and as Shivaji start learning that big army from Aurangabad is coming to protect the city, he stopped looting, and all the loot, the plunder, was transferred safely to Raigad and Sahyadri mountains. And during that process, he also learned his father Shaji Bhonsle, who was the ruler of a small the kingdom in Bangalore, passed away. He also got it. So that January month is very important. Battle of Surat, Alamgir coming back from Kashmir to Delhi, and Shaji Maharaj, the father of Chhatrapati Shivaji, Bhonsle, passed away. And as he received the letter, he decided to replace his father, his maternal uncle Shaista Khan, and sent Major Raja Jai Singh. Jai Singh was a ruler of Amber, or called Amer, that is nothing but Jaipur kingdom later. And with assistance of Diler Khan, and later Treaty of Purandar was signed between them within like June 65. That's a different story. This is overall the context. The Islam has a concept of dividing the mankind into kafirs and mu'mins. It sees 3 divisions: Darul Islam, the Muslim territory; Darul Harb, Kafir's territories or enemy's territory to be put to sword; and wherever Muslims lived or ruled, they are called Inam, the lighted area. The rest of the planet Earth, where non-Muslims live, is Jahiliya, darkness. So these 3 divisions, Darul Islam, Darul Harb, Kafirs and Mu'mins, Illam and Jahiliya, it sees a war enjoins on the Muslim converts to wear a Ghazwa, the battle. That is also prolonged battle, jihad, same thing. And the reward will be the ghanima or plunder or unfall for the believers. Jihad fi sabilillah means in the way of Allah. That is the overall Islam. And here, Jahanara Begum. Shah Jahan has Jahanara Begum and Dara Shikoh, and then Shuja, and Roshanara Begum, then Aurangzeb, then Murad Baksh, Gauharara, 6 children who survived. Jahanara Begum is the eldest daughter of Shah Jahan, and she is much favored. Aurangzeb disliked all their siblings, including Roshanara, but he respected only one person, Jahanara Begum. And she was called Padshahi Begum. After the death of her mother, Mumtaz Mahal, at Burhanpur round about 1631, she was appointed as a Padshahi Begum. Mostly the title is held by the principal favored consort of Mughal emperor. Padshah means ruler, Padshahi Begum means the consort. That title was given to the princess. Princesses are generally called Shahzadi. Shahzadi Jahanara was also Padshahi Begum after Padshah. And she was given Inam. Inam means certain jagged territory where the income comes. It is for her personal expenditure. Remember, Surat contributed, just city itself contributed 10% of Gujarat Subha's income. That is almost 9 or 10% of entire Mughal Empire's income. That was Inam given by Jahangir, honored by his successor Aurangzeb for Jahanara's Begum's Inam. That city, the Maratha lion sacked Mughalia Surat, that itself is a major offense for a person like Aurangzeb, who was a Puritan and Islamic zealot and a strong Mussalman. And once he sacked, the tremors were felt in Delhi. That is Shehinshah, Shah of Shahs, means supreme ruler. In Telugu we call it Raja in Sanskrit. The Sultan of Hindiya Mughalia, Hindustani Sultan, the ruler, that is Mughal dynasty, Shehinshah, this is the Persian title. Alampana means, Alam means the world. Alam means universe is the bigger. Jahan means the world. Alampana means the lord of the entire universe. Alampana, that is the title the Mughal emperors held. Even Nizam of Hyderabad held the title. Alampana, Jahanpana and all those titles. Alampana, Aurangzeb rattled by the audacity of Bhumia from Sahyadri. Aurangzeb originally underestimated Shivaji and thought he's just a rider, just small Bhumia riding the Mughal territories, when even Aurangzeb was the Mughal Subadar of his father Shah Jahan in the second term, 52 to 58. That is 1652 to 58. Second term as a Subadar, where in father become ill in 57, he decided to contest and went to North. Before that, he was the second term. At that time also Shivaji raided his territories. Aurangzeb pardoned him, because at that time Aurangzeb was in war with Adil Shahis and Bijapuris. He couldn't take proper action on him, and he was busy to go to North India, Hindustan, to fight the war of succession, forgave Shivaji and let him go. Shivaji also apologized, and that happened. So this time the same Bhumia from Sahyadri has the audacity, boldness to raid and sack Jahanara Begum's Inam Surat. So Alampana was very much rattled by the audacity of this Bhumia from Sahyadri. Darul Islam, so the Islamic territory, that is the Mughal Empire at that time, Hindustan's the biggest entry part, was sacked for 5 days. Its governor, Inayat Khan, felt the governor, Inayat Khan, as soon as he heard that the big army of Shivaji was at Ganadeva. Ganadeva is a small town in Valsad district, south, that is Navsari district. This is the Valsad district, this is Surat district, this is the Broch, right? And here we'll have Ahmedabad, and here we'll have the Baroda area and all those areas, and Kera and all those things. Here we have Thane, and south of the Thane you will have Raigad, his capital. As soon as the spies brought the information that Shivaji was at that area, and they were thinking Shivaji was going this area fighting other battles, but all of a sudden Shivaji cunningly moved his army and positioned himself at Ganadeva. When Ganadeva, the news brought, and Inayat Khan fled. So Darul Islam's entry part sacked for 5 days. Governor Inayat Khan fled. Sack of Surat caused bitter mortification in Aurangzeb Bahadur Alamgir's court. Alamgir, again Alam means bigger than Jahan, entire universe. Gir means grasper. A person who grasps the entire universe is the Alamgir. That is the renowned title of Aurangzeb. His grandfather's title was Jahangir. That means the father of Shah Jahan. He grasped only the planet Earth, Jahan. Alamgir even grasped more. That is Alamgir, bigger title than Jahangir. And he decided, that is Jahapana, Alampana, Aurangzeb, Mughalia Sultan Padshahi of Hindustan, decided to replace his prominent swordsman in Deccan, Saiful Islam, Shaista Khan, his maternal uncle, brother of Mumtaz Mahal, that is the son of Asaf Khan. Asaf Khan was the father of Mumtaz Mahal and Shaista Khan. Asaf Khan himself, the father-in-law of Shah Jahan, decided to transfer him to Penal province, Bengal. He issued the order, and in his place he decided to place Jai Singh Mirza. Generally, Aurangzeb doesn't give appointment to the Hindus, Rajputs. At that time he gave, that may perhaps the last appointment major, that to very strategic political part of his empire, Deccan, that is Khandesh, the Dulia Jalgavan, and Bera, that is Akola, Amravati, Yavatmal and Buldana, Washim, all those areas, and Aurangabad, and appointed him because he was a prominent general, a general who has proved his mettle in many wars. As the Subadar of Deccan, in order to spy, keep an eye on him, he also appointed a Musalman, Diler Khan. That's how Aurangzeb always does. Appoints one and appoints the other one who is inimically, hostilely disposed to Jai Singh. They were dispatched to set the affairs of Deccan for Jahanpana. The belligerents here, Darul Islam and Darul Harb, the sack of Surat, and we saw all those things. And sack of Surat, we saw this map, and we can see this we can explore a little further. We can see here, this is the Pune. This is the headquarters of the Mughals, Aurangabad here. This is the Marathwada region. This is the Godavari river, starts at Nasik, Triambak. It goes via Parbhani district and Nanded here, Nizamabad. And this is the Tapati river and Surat. And this is the Salset Island. This is the Kolaba district, will be somewhere here south of that Kolaba. This is the Chhatrapati Shivaji's capital in excuse me, in Raigad district or Kolaba district, and he went and positioned his army near Ganadeva here, Navsari Ganadeva, and sacked Surat. And this is the Dhuli Jalgavan. This is the Burhanpur in the Khandesh region. This is all Khandesh region. This is the gateway to South India. This is the Satpura mountains. This is the Tapti river, cuts the Satpuras, and Burhanpur is the gateway to South India. And Mumtaz Mahal actually passed away there. She was buried there, and later her body was exhumed, taken away and transported to Agra. And Shah Jahan built a big funerary architecture on her body. Funerary means Islam doesn't have much architecture, only architecture that domes built on the bodies of the dead people. That was all there. And you can see this in the Mutaya Arya map and the Tamil Nadu printers and traders. I am showing all those regions for you in one place. This is the Goa, the Catholic outpost, Catholic imperialist ruled there, the Portuguese. Excuse me, the Bijapuri Sultans ruled here at quarters, all this area, and the Golconda Nawabs, Qutub Shahi is in Aurangabad, this Hyderabad area, Bijapur area. This is the Aurangabad Mughals ruled here. This is the Kolaba district where Shivaji has his capital. At the time, the three prominent South Indian political powers are Qutub Shahis of Hyderabad, Golconda, Adil Shahis of Bijapur, Mughals at Aurangabad, they also controlled Ahmednagar because of the partition treaty between the Bijapuris and Mughals, they got the Ahmednagar region. And the nascent kingdom established by Shivaji after he killed Afzal Khan. So he formally established his kingdom. His capital what? In Colaba district or Raigad district in this area. This is the Bombay Salsette Island. And Surat was also headquarters where the British has their small trading post. At that time they were small, not big. And this is the Valsad region. This is the Surat. Then Bharuch here and Ahmedabad and Kera, Anand and Baroda, all those regions there. This is the Nimad region. So this is Aurangabad and Surat, and that's the where. And Shivaji's father was at Bangalore in the Balghat region, the Carnatic region. This is called Carnatic, not Karnataka. Bangalore. He held the virtual ruler of this region. He passed away almost the same time. He sacked the Surat for 5 days. And this is the same thing I am trying to show here. And this is the Thane district. And this is the Ratnagiri. And this is the Pune district. And this is the Colaba region. Dadra Nagar Haveli here. This is the Valsad. This is the Surat. And this is the Bharuch. And this is the Aurangabad region. Here this is the Aurangabad, this is Jamna. And this is the Ahmednagar. So this is the Nasik, this is the Pune. And this is the Khandesh, East Khandesh and West Khandesh. That's the Burhanpur here. And Dayu will be there an island here of the Kathiawad or Saurashtra region. This is the Goa. And Portuguese also had their other exclaves, Dadra, Nagar Haveli. That what we have seen. So that is in brief about the sack of Surat. Surat is equal to Sevali. Sevali was also close to the Surat town, where the British galleons decisively defeated first time the prominent military power, the naval power of that region, Portuguese. And that was in 1612. And 62 years later, that means 52 years later, in 64, Shivaji in the same region sacked the Mughals' major entry port and announced the arrival of not a small kingdom. He said he is the major contender for the political military power and challenger for Darul Islam, that is to Aurangzeb. That was the message the Mughal emperor, that is Alamgir, Alampana Jahanpana, got when he got the news that Surat, the Inam of his favorite sister Jahanara Begum, who is the Padshahi Begum of Mughal Empire in Hindustan, got ruthlessly sacked, and his governor felt that mortification rattled him. And eventually, in 1681, he decided finally to fight back the Marathas and came to South India in 1681 and spent 25 years fighting Marathas, couldn't defeat them, and passed away as a failed ruler at Ahmednagar. And later his body was taken to Aurangabad, a place called Kuldabad, few kilometers from Aurangabad, buried there in the grave. That is in brief of sack of Surat or battle of Surat or Ghazwa of Surat. Belligerents were mighty Mughal Empire and the nascent kingdom of Shivaji. Shivaji audaciously sacked the Mughal entry port for 5 days and its governor fled. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I appreciate you listening to me. And if you like this post, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and bring this information to your friends and colleagues. See you later some other time. This is your presenter at South Asia Maps, J. Reddy.